There's so many things in games, way too many things in games. We should remove things from games. Here are 31 things removed from video games.
High on Life deleted this item, PUBG almost got sued, but out of all things removed in video games, WWE takes the prize. It's pretty common for a celebrity to get in trouble and then they disappear. When this happened to Vince McMahon, 2K24 axed him from all WWE cutscenes,
Really?
but not in the way you would think.
Okay, hold on. What did Vince McMahon do to get in trouble? Because I've heard that he's not a very nice fella. Bit of a ruthless businessman, maybe a bit of a dickhead too. Honestly, I don't really follow the wrestling scene past. I used to like it when I was about 10, 12 years old. I thought The Undertaker was sick. I thought Kane was really cool as well. This is back when the Kurt Angle was around and, you know, The Rock was actually doing wrestling instead of acting now. So I'm not really sure what he's up to, but I do remember playing as Vince McMahon in some of the video games.
Instead of changing the scene or just editing him out, they straight up blurred him.
Oh. That kind of seems like a waste of time, honestly. I feel like you should just get rid of the cutscene at that point because you can't hear a bloody word that he's saying anyway. Also, can you even show these cutscenes without getting copyright claims? Obviously, you could show like a little bit of it, but...
Now, Tekken is always adding insane characters, but what happens when they're forced to remove one? Roger is a kangaroo who has appeared across the franchise.
No, they removed the kangaroo. I remember you could play as Kuma the bear. Wait, was it Kuma the bear? You could play as a panda? Or is that a different one? Was that not Tekken's?
And when it came to the 7th game, we got to play as Roger Jr. Little guys even got boxing gloves, but this is a fighting game, and beating up animals didn't sit well when the activists got involved.
Oh, hang about. All right, so we're not allowed to beat up the baby kangaroos, but we're allowed to beat up the Mega Kangaskhan when he Mega Evolves and the little Baron pops out. So you're saying that that's okay? Well, they're not saying that that's okay, clearly. They're just picking and choosing what to be angry about. I think it's kind of funny.
They caused such an uproar that the devs had to delete Roger, who...
Okay, to be fair, I don't think that anyone is going to play Tekken and be like, ooh, I should go and box some baby kangaroos now. Let me find them with their blue boxing gloves. This is going to go really well.
He's been in the game for over 20 years. Not the only character with a little controversy.
I do love kangaroos though, and they will square up. I've seen so many videos of kangaroos fighting people and dogs, specifically dogs. I don't know why they don't like dogs so much.
Because Apex almost got sued for stealing a skin. Let me explain. During their anime-themed event in 2022, characters got new looks based on iconic outfits from shows like My Hero Academia, Dragon Ball, and One Piece. Only problem is not a single...
Okay, that doesn't really look like Naruto. I mean, I could see the connection. It's not even like the same color though. Did they get permission for this?
Single one of these were official. They got away with them looking similar.
Okay, well, to be fair, this is far enough away where I don't think that you could say that it was completely connected. This seems more like along the lines of parody,
so
doesn't it?
Octane's Luffy skin.
All right, I mean, okay. Sure, that does look very Luffy-like, but unless he has stretchy arms, I don't see the problem.
It was almost identical. Respawn was obviously concerned about a lawsuit, so they immediately deleted the Straw Hat, turning him into a cowboy.
Okay, that's basically the same thing though,
right?
right?
We knew they were trying to make their own Luffy, unlike when PUBG straight up stole an entire brand. If you play the game, you'll know the energy drinks look like this. Pretty standard, right? Well, if you used one before 2018, they look completely different with a red, blue, and silver design. And
what was that, Hot Bull and Emergency Energy?
No surprise they changed it.
Yeah, no wonder.
Sometimes the devs do it to themselves, like Naughty Dog's Fat Joke. In each of the Uncharted games, you can unlock donut versions of characters like Drake, Talbot, and Lazarevich. Outside of extreme obesity, they would have a deeper voice, but the devs would later remove this Easter egg. They just weren't comfortable with the joke anymore, but that's not what happened.
Yeah, I mean the joke, okay. The joke is what? The joke is he's fat. It's not really that good of a joke. It's not very funny to begin with anyway.
In High on Life. Deleting skins is one thing, but what about the main character?
I did play High on Life. I will say, High on Life is like the most like okay game I've played in the past few years. It was all right. It has some decent humor. It kind of overplays the same jokes over and over again. But we know why what happened to Justin Roiland. Although I actually don't know what happened to that whole court case. What came out in the end. I think he got off, but I'm not really sure exactly.
Kenny is the iconic gun who talks to you throughout the game. But after being voiced by Justin Roiland, Squanch Games had a problem.
He was like a weirdo though, wasn't he? Didn't he go on he was going on podcasts. Okay, I can't say exactly what he said because I don't remember and I don't want to say the wrong thing. But I remember there being very, very weird podcast clips floating around on the internet. I remember listening to them and thinking, oh, that's not okay. That's strange.
He was fired from Rick and Morty and High on Life, leaving fans wondering about the upcoming DLC. A lot of us just assumed Kenny will be recast, only to find out they scrapped him entirely, replacing him with a new character, Harper.
I will say the gameplay of High on Life is like quite fun though. Like you can zipline around. I feel like every game should have a zipline. Balatro, put a zipline in it. Baldur's Gate, put a zipline in it. I mean, he can just teleport in Baldur's Gate, but so not really. Just Cause, that already has a zipline in it. FIFA, put a zipline in it. Every game is improved with a zipline. Just whoosh, just like that. Spider-Man doesn't, well, web swims, but you know.
And they lost one of their guns. Is that enough? Can I do the weather now? Jesus.
I mean, I can understand. I thought they just like recast the person. That's what they did for Rick and Morty, didn't
Not
they?
the only content that got wiped out, because nobody got to see the hidden Minecraft Easter egg in Fable 3. There are 6 demon doors throughout the game, but a dev uploaded footage of a 7th that had never been seen. This time it led to a giant blocky area with destructible rocks and trees, clearly inspired by Minecraft.
This is making me recognize that Fable 3 came out after Minecraft, and I did not think it was the case. I thought Fable 3 came out in like 2009 or something, but
You would
no.
think it got removed because of copyright issues, but it turns out that Mojang approved of the addition, and instead, Fable decided to cut it. A lot of players would have loved this, but nobody wants commercials.
Wait, why did they get rid of it then? Cream eggs! Oh, cream eggs! I used to love cream eggs. Do they have cream eggs? Is that, I mean, I know it's a Cadbury's thing. Is Cadbury's chocolate big in other countries? But oh, cream eggs are bloody delectable. They are. Well, they used to be anyway. They used to be delectable, but I think they've changed the recipe and they've definitely made them smaller. I used to love these things back in the day. I would put a cream egg in with ice cream and like crush it up and scatter the goo and the chocolate throughout the ice cream. Oh, nothing better. So good.
Games. Wipeout HD is a futuristic racer, but the devs ruined it with one single update. Sony made a deal with Double Fusion to integrate ads into their games. Sure, it's pretty scummy, but at least you could ignore them, right? Turns out the ads intentionally made the loading screens twice as long, just so you'd be forced to watch the whole thing.
Yeah, no, prison. You should definitely go to prison. If you do something like that, I mean, listen, there's people in prison for very low-level offenses that don't really matter. You sell a little bit of weed, oh, who cares? You do this, prison. You go to jail.
Players were so furious about this, that the devs reverted it instantly.
Is that the Ukraine flag?
Sometimes a feature doesn't even make it, like Fallout's Forbidden Creature. In New Vegas, there are a ton of monsters that attack you, but players digging through the files discovered one that was never released. Gojira was an unused enemy that looked just like the normal gecko, but was 3 times the size.
That's
He
really
was pretty
sick.
much unstoppable with over 8,000 health, so it makes sense why he never made it to the game.
Okay, well, if he had just a little bit less health, then maybe he'd be sick. I mean, Gojira is the Japanese pronunciation of Godzilla, so I mean, it makes sense why he'd have so much power. And also, it makes sense because Gojira or Godzilla is based off of like it's supposed to be stand-in for nuclear weapons, which is why it doesn't get killed by nukes and things. So it being in a post-apocalyptic game makes a lot of sense,
In
right?
fact, Seth MacCauley told everyone that it was something he made just for fun to terrorize Camp McCarran during development. Not the biggest mistake you can make before a launch, though. That award goes to Fire Emblem. Byleth's character is usually voiced by Chris Niosi, until one day his name was wiped from the credits. Turns out he actually broke his NDA by bragging to friends about the role before it was announced, and Nintendo took it personally.
Oh no, you fool, dude. Oh, I mean, that's really innocuous though. Just saying like, oh, I'm gonna be voicing someone in Fire Emblem. I'd probably do the same thing, to be honest, if I felt like I could trust my friends. And I was like, oh no, I have this really cool thing that I'm excited about and I want to share it with everyone. Oh shit, not everyone, just with my friends. And you get blasted. That reminds me of, I think Baby No Money, the artist was supposed to get a Fortnite skin and he tweeted the email where they was talking to him about the Fortnite skin. And after that, just like, yeah, no more Fortnite skin for you. Sorry, Baby No Money. No more Fortnite skin. Why would you do this?
Not only was his
Which I understand, don't tweet the emails, right? But oh, that's so sad. God, he must be so frustrated with himself.
credit removed, but they straight up recast the voice actor as punishment. This included re-recording everything, even though the game had been out for 2 years.
Wait, what? Wait, what? The game had been out for 2 years. Wait, hold on, I don't understand. He had to re-record everything. Wait, he wasn't allowed to say everything after the game was released? I'm gonna need some more context on that. Doesn't make any sense.
One innocent feature in Madden 23 suddenly turned dark after a real-life accident. The game has a bunch of celebration emotes. When you score a touchdown, you can dance or even use your player's signature move. One of these was pretending to do CPR on someone, which was pretty funny at the time until one day it actually happened. Damar Hamlin collapsed on the field and had to be given CPR for 9 minutes. Afterwards, no one could see the celebration in the same light again, so EA made the quick decision to remove it.
Oh, yeah, of course you're going to remove it after that. I mean, Jesus, that's awful. I hope he's all right.
It's just as quickly as Call of Duty Warzone deleting 2 YouTubers. Both Nick Merckx and Tim the Tap Man got
oh boy, yeah, here we go.
their own characters in games, something their fans love. All it took was some controversial tweets and the devs were not happy. Nick's bundle was removed from the shop, and not long after, Tim requested they do the same to his. They haven't been sold since, and it seems the devs are now avoiding any collaborations with content creators because of it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, when it comes to Call of Duty content creators, there's no shortage of interesting words that they have to say sometimes. I mean, it comes with the community, really. It's a little sad. I used to watch Tim the Tap Man a lot when he started playing Overwatch, and I was loving his streams because he was just positive. He's bringing some positive vibes. Like, culturally, he's very different from me. Like, he's very like American and all that. He's trucks and sports and all that. But I just love to watch him play Overwatch. I don't really know much about Nick Merckx. I can totally understand why they would remove it. And now I've seen things where Nick Merckx has been going on saying slurs, specifically about trans people. And it's very sad. It is genuinely so sad. I mean, honestly, content creators are just people. Like, I maybe should be held to a higher standard because they have a lot of people looking up to them, definitely, but they're never going to be perfect, myself included. I am not I try to be a good person in everything that I do. I mean, I don't know how to impress on people that they should be more empathetic towards others. It's just sad to see, and Tim like going along with it. I mean, they were friends, I guess, but what he said after that, I could never be friends with someone that had said that. I don't want to get too deep into it. I'm sorry, especially with Dr. Disrespect afterwards. Clearly, also not very good, very bad. Definitely wasn't keeping away from the kids.
At least they didn't get the entire game banned. Wolfenstein 2 obviously covers some sensitive topics from the Second World War, so when it released in Germany, they were forced to delete half the game. Flags, symbols, dialogue, all had to be wiped out or altered. But one of the craziest changes has got to be the dictator. To make sure he was unidentifiable, apparently all they had to do was remove his mustache.
Oh, for Jesus. All right, I can understand why Germany would not want to have any kind of media with Nazi memorabilia in it anymore. I mean, it makes sense to me.
And one time a game had to delete someone for just talking too much. Fallout New Vegas features a lot of characters and stories to uncover, but one of them never made the final cut. Ulysses was meant to be a companion, but had so much dialogue that he simply wouldn't fit on the game's disc. The devs had no choice but to cut him and reuse him later on as a villain in a future DLC, although it doesn't mean he talked any less.
No, he yaps so much. I'm gonna be honest, Ulysses is one of those Reddit people that think they're so smart. Oh my god, he yaps. And he has nothing to say. If you believe in something enough, you must be willing to let it burn lest it claim you. You're just yapping. What are you even saying, Ulysses? I love Fallout New Vegas. I think it's one of the best written games of all time. But he is just annoying, man. He's got this self-righteous, like, oh, both sides are bad, centrism Andy kind of, the NCR, the bear and the bull are gonna set off some nukes. Like, oh my god, Ulysses, shut up. Oh, you love the sound of your own voice. And I realize that it's very ironic that I'm saying this because I'm yapping right now. Like, rather than just letting the video play, I'm just yapping about Ulysses. I'll stop.
If you believe in something enough, you must be willing to let it burn, lest it claim you.
And it turns out you can't even trust the NPC.
Oh, Sea of Stars! I love this game. I absolutely love the soundtrack too. It's really, really good.
Anymore because some of them commit fraud.
And Oblivion! I love Oblivion too! This is one of my favorite games of all time. Can I just say that? Oh, I'm so excited. I love Oblivion mentioned. It makes me happy.
Sea of Stars decided to add a popular creator to the game by giving him his own NPC. He was based on Gerard the Completionist, and it all went smoothly until rumors broke out.
Dude, this is just creators getting called out for the things that they did wrong. Jeez, okay.
That funds from his charity stream didn't go to the foundation. While nothing was ever concrete, the devs wanted to keep the game feeling positive and made the decision to cut him from the game entirely.
Yeah, that is a shame. That is, his YouTube channel, even to this day, has never recovered from this. Even if you watch his videos from recently as 4 weeks ago, I mean, this happened like, what, a year ago at this point? Still 10,000 dislikes, 2,000 likes. All the comments are about like audits and stealing money from charity. I mean, geez, he is kind of toasted at this point.
Has a bunch of references to the famous PT horror game, but one of the best ones was completely scrapped. Basically, there's decoy grenades, which deploy an inflatable big boss to distract enemies. But before the game released, it was actually Lisa, the same ghost from PT. It was at the Tokyo Game Show in 2014 and was the only time we ever saw it, with the reference never making it into the final version. Probably because Kojima got cut from the team. And
Yeah, that is probably one of the biggest L's that they've done, right? Kojima getting cut from
probably
Konami.
wouldn't believe there was a time Fortnite cut out its most famous character. Jonesy is pretty iconic.
Surely not Jonesy, one of our favorite iconic mythical creatures of all time.
When Epic dropped the Imposters mode, he was originally planned to be the mascot. It was called a ripoff of Among Us with meetings and tasks, but the biggest giveaway was the suits.
Okay, I mean, it was a ripoff of Among Us, though,
Each
wasn't it?
crewmate was going to be Jones dressed in different colored outfits, just like the original game, but Fortnite
Yeah, it is literally bar for bar the exact same thing as Among Us,
had
right?
realized that this was maybe pushing it. So they deleted them and just let you wear your current skin instead. At least
It was Banana! Banana's the
they're gonna
imposter!
make you pay for it, unlike GTA's greediest update. There are tons of vehicles in the game that players can unlock for free through progression, until one day Rockstar decided they had had enough. Over 180 cars and bikes were suddenly put behind a paywall, requiring players to sign up to a subscription service in order to access them.
Oh, God, everything's a fully subscription service now, isn't it?
Thankfully, anyone who already unlocked the vehicles got to keep them, but anyone new was forced to pay up. Yikes.
Okay, if you ever do we're gonna take something that was free and then put it behind a paywall thing, you are gonna get the worst kind of flack. The Watcher shenanigans, we're talking about another YouTuber now, the Watcher shenanigans, with the Watcher channel that said that they were gonna move some of their content over to YouTube, at least put it on, or no, not over to YouTube, to their own platform that you have to pay a subscription fee for, that you wouldn't be able to see unless you paid them, that used to be free, that had the most insane backlash. You can't take something that was free and then make it paywalled. That is number one thing. If you're gonna make some kind of subscription service, or you want someone to fund something that you want to make, at least add a little bit of something extra, or just pray that they are kind enough to enjoy the thing that you're putting out for free so much that they want to give you money. Like when I stream, all of my streams are available for free, all of my videos are available for free. None of them are behind paywalls, except members get early access, like a day early access. And then people feel sometimes very generously like they want to gift a membership, or they want to super chat or donate something, and I feel very happy about that. But I'm not gonna put my regular Then We Fight videos completely behind a paywall and say, hey, if you want to see these videos forever, they're gone, you can't see them ever again unless you give me money. I'm not gonna do that.
Someone else who refused to pay was the developers of GoldenEye. They originally planned to add an all bonds mode, giving us suits from each of the movies. It even had the actors Sean Connery, Roger Moore, Timothy Dalton, which they soon realized would cause
They don't have the
legal
likeness.
issues for using their likeness without permission. Instead of paying for the license, they were scrapped entirely. Still not as crazy
Yeah,
as the
that makes
mission
sense.
in MW2 that had to be removed. Now, Call of Duty's already a mature game, but it was taken one step further and no Russian. Due to how controversial this mission was, the entire scene was banned from all versions published in Russia, with other countries forcing them to alter the mission entirely. Another change.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's funny, when we first got like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, when I was in high school, I was in year 9 of high school, which I think is the equivalent of like 9th grade or whatever it is. And we just got the new Call of Duty. I played Call of Duty 4, played World at War, absolutely loved those games. Got Modern Warfare 2, started playing through the campaign. I didn't even think twice about it. Like, you walk through an airport and just gun people down. Hundreds of people, potentially. And just wasn't even thinking twice about it. I was like, oh yeah, it's a mission. Yeah, all right, just walking through the airport. Bit of a slow mission, really. You have to walk through the whole thing, so a bit slow. Yeah, it could be a little bit faster, but yeah, just a mission. Didn't even think twice about it. Very strange. Very bad, actually. Probably shouldn't normalize things like that.
Fans aren't happy with is in Rocket League. Since Epic took over, there has been some crazy decisions like going free to play, but one of the biggest has got to be removing trading. It was a key part of the game for the community, with rare items being sold to others in exchange for real money. Obviously, this is never supported by the devs, but some items are selling for thousands of dollars.
What? A wheel for 4K? Excuse me?
And now, the trading feature has been removed, and that's because of Fortnite. With cars now transferring over, it's been turned into a new system-based trade. There's no more loot boxes or rare items, and if you want to trade in duplicates,
Wait, what? They connected with a Fortnite? Dude, I feel like I'm so out of the loop when it comes to these multiplayer online games. I mostly play single player games. You know, I just finished another Baldur's Gate playthrough. Hey, so I feel so out of the loop. Hey, Balatro, huh? Right?
you'll just get a
Balatro?
random item for every 5 you turn in. It's better than nothing, but fans are not happy about this one. And there was no choice of fixing a mode in Valorant that broke the game. Replication made it so that both teams were all the same agent with shorter rounds. Pretty normal, but there is one thing the devs didn't account for: ultimates. Turns out everyone having the same abilities is not just chaos, but it caused the whole match to fall apart due to lag.
Where am I?
Wait, really?
What the fuck?
Hold on, wait, hold on. You can't. Could people not just run the same heroes regardless anyway? How? What? Everyone would have the same ultimates if you ran the same heroes in a match anyway. So you telling me that the game just can't handle you having like 3 ultimates at once? I understand that maybe it's people on lower spec PCs that are having the issues, but that's just silly. How can you possibly have a game run naturally, normally as it should?
It almost lasted as long as Minecraft's Forgotten Instrument. You can get Goat Horn since the Caves and Cliffs update, letting you play different.
Hey, when you blow the goat horn, you arrive because you're the it calls you. It's the horn for you because you know
sounds. But there was actually an
Please subscribe. Please use my code Patterrz at GamerSubs. Hey, how about that? You want some delicious beverages? You feeling thirsty? I want some of this. Listen, I got some Sakura flavor in this. I got some lean in here too. You can't buy lean anymore because of the issue with it. GamerSubs got contacted by the Department of Homeland Security because it had Joe Biden on it, so they're not allowed to sell it anymore. But you can get some emotional damage, and using code Patterrz, you can get it for cheap. You can get it for nice and cheap.
upgraded version. The copper horn let you play noises depending on which direction you were looking, creating up to 10 unique sounds. It was a pretty strange item, and apparently Mojang thought so too, removing it because it didn't live up to the design goals. Not the only rethought decision, because the Rust devs changed the genre of the entire game. Originally, it was a zombie survival, letting players fight not just each other,
Okay, we do not need more zombie survival games though,
but
do
also
we?
undead creatures. Eventually, it became so popular that people didn't even care about the zombies anymore.
Yeah, I feel like that's what happens naturally. People care more about the PvP and the
And
building
so one
aspect.
day the devs finally caved in. We did it. The longer we keep zombies in, the more complaints we get about removing them. We are no longer a zombie survival game. But Nintendo did the
There's plenty of zombie survival games that you could play, right? There's no shortage of zombie survival games.
opposite of what fans wanted. Players have always requested a co-op mode for Super Mario 64 and never got one. But
Okay, I mean, I feel like that would be a little hard to do now,
it only
right?
got worse when we found out it actually existed. They originally planned to let you play with your friend as the two brothers, but for some reason, it was never finished. And fans
I guess they just didn't have the time to finish it. Oh, Doom guy.
also had their happiness crushed when a VTuber Easter egg was removed after just 72 hours.
Oh, what have they done? I love VTuber drama. VTuber drama is always so funny.
Brony is a popular streamer who accidentally created the Doog meme when playing through the first game. It caught on so much that the devs added it as a reference in Eternal.
Whoa, 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 wow!
Great Easter egg, but was found almost instantly by players and then removed. And the devs of
Why?
Spider-Man
Wait, why would they remove it?
2
What?
forgot to remove a whole location. Turns out that Rhino was originally planned to be a villain, but you won't believe how players discovered it.
I think Rhino is a villain.
By glitching out of the bounds, you can swing
Whoa!
all the way under the map to a hidden sewer that is never used in the game. Pretty detailed for a scrapped area, featuring Kraven's throne, a bunch of trophies on the wall, and most surprising of all, Rhino's head. Now it doesn't
Oh.
answer whether he's alive or dead, so there is
Oh, he is. I mean, he looks pretty dead.
still hope. That's still not as unexplainable as Activision deleting half of their game. Players were insanely hyped when Modern Warfare 2 was getting a remaster, happy to finally relive the glory days, only for it to be one of the biggest letdowns. It looked and played great, but they only featured the campaign with no multiplayer. How
Okay, that's insane. That is ridiculous. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Why would you not feature the multiplayer? That's literally the reason most people play Call of Duty games for longer than, what, 3 hours? 3 hours to beat the campaign? People are not going to buy this. What kind of stupid idea was that? Is this a joke?
can you make a remaster and not include the most popular part? If you played GTA
That's dumb as bricks. Whose idea was
5, you
this?
probably already know about the iconic character switching, but this wasn't the first time Rockstar wanted to use this. They had this idea nearly a decade earlier with San Andreas. It would have let you swap between more than just CJ, so who knows what other characters there were. Possibly
cool.
one of the saddest removals is Kojima being wiped from Metal Gear Solid. We all know the story of him being forced to leave the company over creative differences, but the worst part was when they deleted him from the game too. The cover art originally looked like this, but after he was fired, they straight up removed his name, discrediting all of his work. Another change that
That is genuinely fucked
took
up.
personally is Fortnite's insane decision. We've all seen how it's evolved since the beginning, but recently Epic made a change that nobody asked for, removing skin rarities after 7 years.
Removing skin rarities? Okay, sure. What makes a skin more rare than another skin? Is it just more detailed, or is it a skin that they think is going to be more enjoyed by people? I feel like having every skin be equal makes more sense, because upcharging just because it is more wanted, like a Goku skin or a Luffy skin, that feels a little scummy.
One of the most recognizable parts of the game, and became so popular that others adopted the system, and now they've abandoned it. This has sparked heated discussions among fans, with a lot of them hating how the locker is ugly, and
Okay, the locker does look ugly though, I will
are
admit.
worried skin prices will rise with no tags to show their value.
Oh, okay, well, not tags to show their value wouldn't necessarily, I don't know, that wouldn't prevent a rise. Also, 2,000 V-Bucks for one skin is ridiculous. How much money people spend on Fortnite? I need to get some V-Bucks. How much is 2,000 V-Bucks?
Click on screen to watch part
That's a
1 of this
ridiculous
video.
amount. All right, the jiggle crisis. All right, well, if you want to see more videos from T5G, as always, they are linked in the description. If you want to see more videos from me, you can always subscribe here as well.